After months and really years worth of backlash for the new Snow White bastardization by Disney, finally, it came time for the Hollywood premiere of this movie. Now, it was not a normal premiere. In fact, it was rather scaled back. No one was allowed to really ask any questions to Rachel Zegler or Gal Gadot because Disney probably knew that it would be a colossal disaster if they did so. Nevertheless, the premiere scaled back, no press and media allowed to ask anything. It did happen yesterday. Snow White first reactions praise the remake. A big surprise. Rachel Zegler stuns. Man, it's weird. So many of these first reactions that are praising Snow White and praising Rachel Zegler, very similar to what we saw 2 years ago for The Little Mermaid. And we saw how that ended up performing, didn't we? Disney held the LA premiere of its live-action reboot starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot on Saturday, and early reactions to the film say it's far better than anticipated, CGI dwarves aside. And very appropriate, we've got the Meta PCs ad in the corner. If you or somebody else you know is looking to upgrade or get a new PC for gaming, editing, whatever, go check out Meta PCs. They're great, veteran-owned and operated, and ready to ship to your door. Check out the link in the description and the pinned comment below. But as I said, the interesting thing about this premiere was that no one was allowed to ask any fucking questions. Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot kept away from reporters at unusually muted Snow White world premiere in LA. And in fact, they only took a handful of pictures together. Not really a surprise considering the things we've heard about them and the things we'll get to a little bit later, like how done Gal Gadot is with some of the drama surrounding this. But very interestingly, the only interview that they gave was with someone who was employed by Disney. Instead of the usual lineup of dozens of red carpet reporters, the only interviewers they encounter were employed by Disney, like Jodie Benson, who voiced Ariel in the studio's 1989 animated classic Little Mermaid. Such was the scaled-back premiere of Snow White, which hits theaters on March 21st. And yes, they've done everything they can to do damage control for this. They know they can't let Rachel Zegler speak to people. They know that they can't have an interview with both Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot at the same time. And as much as we know that everything surrounding Rachel Zegler's career likely hinges on the success or failure of this movie, it seems like Gal Gadot is really tired of all of the fucking drama surrounding this. Right here from People, Gal Gadot and co-star Rachel Zegler have nothing in common as tension surrounds the Snow White release. And this is according to People, well, the website, not People magazine, I suppose. But here's the bottom line up front. Gal Gadot is reportedly annoyed by all the drama surrounding the live-action Snow White film. She enjoyed filming. She was fine with Rachel, but they're not friends. They have nothing in common. They did a job together, and that's it. They have a huge age gap and very different political views. Wow, who would have guessed that while at the same time Gal Gadot was getting attacked by Rachel Zegler fans for being Israeli, and then Rachel Zegler would go on to tweet about the conflict in Israel, who would have known that they have vastly different political views? And this seems to me like kind of a message to the press that, yeah, Gal Gadot's sick and tired of this stuff. Gal Gadot is a professional and she's going to act professionally. But this is ridiculous for her, probably. It's been 2 years worth of any and all backlash for this movie that was generated almost solely by Rachel Zegler. And it's to the point where you can't even have a normal premiere. You don't let anybody answer or ask any questions. You keep them away from each other for the most part. And the only people allowed to ask questions are employed by Disney. That's how bad it's gotten, and it's really no surprise that the very same people in the media who will hold up anything and everything and do their best to shill so they get invited to the next premiere are also saying the exact same thing about Snow White, but with so much negative publicity out there, it's going to be tough to overcome what people have known for years, and that is that Rachel Zegler talked shit about the original. She said what they were going to do with this movie, and in all likelihood, it's not going to end up very well for them.